Hello, my name is Mark. Welcome to my home. This is a quick plumbing tech tip for people with tab trailers. A lot of you have, you recognize this. This is a typical plastic faucet out of a 2015 tab access trailer. This was very common in a lot of years, and a lot of people didn't like it because it's just, it doesn't work well in there. And so they replace them. And when they do, I'm seeing that a lot of people, they don't know enough about how to connect these up to make these fittings so that they don't leak. And I want to talk to you about something that I'm seeing. Those of you that replace these, oftentimes you'll see people take Teflon tape. You've seen this stuff, and they put Teflon tape around these threads before they put the supply line on. Well, that's not the way to do it. Teflon tape does not belong on these fittings or on these fittings. It doesn't belong anywhere. Teflon tape does not belong anywhere in your supply line faucet. Neither does thread compound. So let's talk about why. If you look at your typical supply line, look down in there. You see that black washer that's in there? It's a rubber washer. Let's take a look at that. Let's take apart one of these and show you what's going on. This would be your typical PEX line coming up. It would have a copper band around here crimped on, and this would be the connection up to your faucet or to the supply line or something like that. So if we take this apart, you'll see there's an insert here. Look at that insert. See that black? That's a rubber washer. That rubber washer gets pushed down into that smooth face. This is a smooth face. This is a rubber washer. So if I compress this with these threads, you see if I push that together, that won't leak. It's the washer that's keeping this water in, not the threads. So these threads are supposed to stay dry. They don't even get wet. So putting Teflon tape on there is not what seals this. It's the rubber washer here against this smooth face that seals this. So when you put this on here and you tighten it down, let's not get this cross-threaded. You see, that's tight. And it's no Teflon tape, no compound, no nothing. That's all. And only hand tight, only hand tight. You could see that if I tighten this too tight, let's say I just put a wrench on that, crescent wrench, and I tighten and tighten and tighten this nut down, it will crush that rubber washer and actually can split it. So what happens is it starts leaking. That's a case of the tighter you go, the more it leaks. These should be only hand tight. These fittings are called compression swivel fittings. That's these fittings here, the fittings that are on your PEX, the fittings that are in your supply line, they all have that rubber washer, and they go, and it's just squeezing down that rubber washer that makes the seal, not the Teflon tape. Don't use any Teflon tape on any faucet supply line. You're not supposed to. Don't do it. A lot of people are, and they're having trouble because of it. If you put one of these together, before you screw it together, look in there, because just like your garden hose, how many of you have lost the rubber washer that's in their garden hose? Well, you know that once you do, it doesn't seal anymore. So if you've got a fitting that's leaking, the tendency here is a lot of people will wrap this in Teflon tape and try to screw it down. That's not going to seal it. What you need to do is take it apart, look at that rubber washer. If that rubber washer is not in good shape, you can replace that washer. So you can go down to like an Ace and you can get a new washer and drop that new washer in there, and then it'll seal just fine. So that's all this was. Real quick, so you don't use Teflon tape on these swivel fittings. These are compression swivel fittings. This is just standard pipe, standard iron pipe. You see how these threads are tapered? If you look just close, you see how they're just tapered down. So when I screw this into another fitting, you can see how those will get tighter and tighter and tighter. You look in there, there's no rubber washer, there's no nothing. This is where you use Teflon tape or pipe compound. These guys only go on standard pipe fittings for water or for gas. They don't go on swivel fittings, compression swivel fittings on your faucets. So just thought I'd give it a hand. When you put these guys on, just put them on hand tight, really good. If you have to, just maybe, I don't know, maybe a quarter turn, just maybe about like, maybe that's all you'll need, and that guy will be leak free. So hand tight, no Teflon tape, you'll be good to go. Take care, guys. See you in the next one. Drive safe.